I am Councilman Kenyatta Johnson, representing the 2nd Councilmanic District here in the city of Philadelphia, which includes the Philadelphia International Airport. I would like to thank Keith Broom, the interim CEO of the Philadelphia International Airport, and his leadership team for hosting this event today. The Business Opportunity Forum provides information and resources, but most importantly, opportunities for small businesses to do business with the city of Philadelphia, but most importantly, the Philadelphia International Airport.
Welcome everyone to the 10th Annual Business Opportunity Forum, the pathway towards inclusive business connections. I'd like to thank Keith Bruni and the entire leadership team at PHL for their continued commitment to keeping diverse firms informed about the vital opportunities at our airports. As the city of Philadelphia continues its resurgence from the pandemic, we want to make sure that we continue to move the needle forward together. The City of Philadelphia Department of Commerce is working on your behalf and that of all local businesses. Combined, our resources are designed to advance economic opportunities through equitable access to capital, resource sharing, capacity building, and contracting opportunities. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us today.
Hi, I'm Congresswoman Mary Gay Scanlon, and I'm proud to represent Philadelphia International Airport. PHL has long been an economic engine for our region, and I'm thrilled to see the tremendous growth that the Bipartisan Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act is unlocking. PHL's use of this historic funding to modernize our region's airport infrastructure means new opportunities for people across the Commonwealth and positions our region for success within an increasingly competitive global economy. The upgrades that PHL is making, including robust cargo expansion, improving airport access for historically disadvantaged travelers, and reducing environmental impact, will improve air travel for passengers, create thousands of good-paying local jobs, and invigorate our local economy for decades to come. I'm proud to have helped pass this historic infrastructure funding, and I look forward to continuing to work with PHL to invest in new opportunities for our region, our families, and beyond. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Nikhil Saval, and it's my honor to represent the people, communities, and lands of Pennsylvania's 1st Senatorial District, which runs through the heart of Philadelphia all the way down to the airport. Thank you all for being here this morning. The Philadelphia Airport does the vital work of connecting the world with Philadelphia and connecting Philadelphia with the world. The airport's incredible workers are the people who make these connections happen. I'm proud to work on behalf of the people and businesses that make this a thriving hub. I'm grateful to airport leadership for continuing to create this important space so that we're constantly fostering deeper connections. It's a pleasure to be able to join and share a few words. I hope you enjoy, and I look forward to seeing where we will go together.
Hello. I am State Representative Regina Young, and I am so proud and honored to be invited to say something about the Philadelphia International Airport Business Opportunity Forum on behalf of myself as a legislator for the airport, but also as a member of the Pennsylvania Legislative Black Caucus. This is an amazing opportunity, and I'm so excited about all the greatness that can happen when we have these conversations, when we bring these small businesses up to the platform where everybody can see them. I believe highlighting small businesses and Black and brown businesses and these type of businesses greater expands the network and the presence of how great our Commonwealth is. It's truly an amazing experience for people who might not have thought that they can actually rise to these platforms and these spaces to be here, and for government to support them. So this is an exciting time to be in this role. It's an exciting time for small businesses, and it's an exciting time for everyone to see that together we can do so much more in our community and our Commonwealth for the people we represent. So on behalf of myself as a representative for the airport and as a member of the Pennsylvania Legislative Black Caucus, welcome and thank you again for this opportunity. I am so looking forward to all the great things that's going to come out of this.
Hi, I'm State Representative Isabella Fitzgerald from the 203rd District in Northwest Philadelphia, and I'm happy to join this year's Philadelphia International Airport 2022 Business Opportunity Forum. This annual forum is an informative and important gathering for minority-owned and women-owned businesses to connect with various opportunities at the airport. It's time to gain information about the industry and hear from leaders within the industry. So many of these opportunities can open doors to careers that provide family-sustaining incomes. The forum can also connect folks that offer services through their businesses to the airport and public at large. I welcome this chance to participate with my colleagues in the Pennsylvania Legislative Black Caucus. I hope you leave today with a wealth of knowledge and a path forward. Thank you so very much.
Greetings, I am State Representative Donna Bullock, and I represent the 195th District here in North Philadelphia. I am also the chair of the Pennsylvania Legislative Black Caucus. I am honored to bring you greetings today during this Business Opportunities Forum to just highlight the opportunities for small businesses to engage in contracting with the airport. As chair of the Pennsylvania Legislative Black Caucus, we have prioritized and really worked hard with the small business community across the Commonwealth, as well as state agencies, to highlight both the challenges and opportunities for government contracting. Pennsylvania has over 1 million small businesses, but less than 10% of them are Black owned. And what we know is that government contracting gives an opportunity to uplift those small businesses and their families, move them from low-income communities to middle-class communities, and also gives those businesses opportunities to invest in their communities, invest in their neighborhoods, and the young people in their neighborhoods. Small businesses, particularly Black-owned businesses, hire from our communities, and they also support those neighborhoods. As we recover from the pandemic and the economic crisis, it is important for government agencies like the airport and other government agencies through the state and the city of Philadelphia to engage with small, diverse businesses. Together, we can all recover. So take this opportunity to learn how your business can benefit from infrastructure projects, make connections, take notes, and learn how your business can do business with the Philadelphia International Airport. Thank you again for this invitation to greet you during this Business Opportunities Forum, and I look forward to hearing about all of the connections.
I am truly honored to be a part of the airport's 10th Annual Business Opportunity Forum. The forum plays an important role in supporting firms within the Philadelphia region. More specifically, it provides a tremendous opportunity for small and diverse businesses to learn about new airport projects and make connections with Philadelphia International Airport staff, as well as other regional business leaders and resource partners. One of the priorities of our administration has been to build an inclusive government that looks like the city we serve. I am pleased that all of you are willing to help us meet these goals. As you continue to grow your business by expanding existing projects and exploring new work at our airports, I am sure that we will continue to engage our talented and diverse populations as the city continues to demonstrate its resilience and resurgence. Our administration has always been and will continue to be dedicated to the economic success of our airport and the growth of our business community.
Good morning. I'm Keith Bruni, Interim CEO for the City of Philadelphia's Division of Aviation, which owns and operates both Philadelphia International Airport and Northeast Philadelphia Airport. Thank you so much for joining us today for the 10th Annual Business Opportunity Forum. As in the past, this year's forum is held in conjunction with the City of Philadelphia's Minority Enterprise Development, or MED Week. Today, we have over 105 companies and organizations registered for the forum, which is great, of which 58% of those companies are MW or DBEs. We also have a number of new firms joining our forum this year, which again is fantastic. And over 30% of the firms registered today are currently working on airport contracts. If you're returning, welcome back. If you're here for the first time, we're happy to have you here with us. We have a very robust and informative program today, but before we get started, I'd like to thank some of the special people that are supporting us today. Our Mayor, the Honorable Jim Kenney, Congresswoman Mary Gay Scanlon, City Council Member Kenyatta Johnson, State Representative Donna Bullock, State Rep Regina Young, State Senator Saval, State Representative Fitzgerald, and of course my boss, the Commerce Director, Ann Nadel. We appreciate the time that they've all taken to record messages for the forum this morning. I'd also like to acknowledge the airport's leadership team, many of which are going to be hearing from today. On the leadership team is our Chief Financial Officer, Tracy Borda, our Chief Information Officer, Alan Maida, our Chief Information Security Officer, Damian Orvez, our Chief Revenue Officer, Jim Tyrell, and our Chief Administrative Officer, Delisha Wilds. We're really excited to be here with you today. This annual forum plays an important role in the airport's approach to supporting this region's small and diverse business community. We take pride in the legacy of opportunities in helping build these small businesses in our region. And here's a little bit of what you can expect from today. After I give some highlights about the economic impact of the airport and some of our recent accomplishments, I'll be joined by Tracy Borda, our CFO, and Steve Williams, who is the Deputy Executive Director of the Delaware River and Bay Authority, Wilmington, Delaware, who manages the Newcastle County Airport, as well as some others. This morning, we'll have a discussion moving from recovery to resurgence. After our panel discussion, Beatrice Isaac, our Deputy Director for Airport Procurement, and Lynn Newsom, the Deputy Commerce Director for the Office of Economic Opportunity with Commerce, will provide updates on PHL business diversity and Office of Economic Opportunity, respectively. Then after a short break, we will begin our breakout sessions. We have 7 topic-driven breakout sections that will be led by the PHL senior staff. Following the breakout sessions, we'll be joined by members of our leadership team for a Q&A before we wrap it up. This is an exciting time to be at the airport and to be working here. Pre-pandemic, Philadelphia International had an annual economic impact of $16.8 billion, supporting 106,800 jobs in the 11-county Greater Philadelphia region. Northeast Philadelphia had a regional economic impact of almost $500 million, supporting 3,150 jobs. The activities that we are seeing at the airport today will certainly help us achieve those numbers again relatively soon. Travel is back. This summer, our terminals were bustling, and we're looking forward to a very robust holiday season as well. Improvement projects are again underway. We had to stop some of them during the pandemic, but projects like our very important restroom renovation program, our Vail infrastructure programs going on here at PHL, and the taxiway rehabilitation, Taxiway Lima rehabilitation at Northeast Philadelphia are all in progress. Cargo is a major focus of ours, and our cargo expansion program is advancing. We have 2 enabling projects underway right now, along with our partners on board that will allow us to expand our air cargo facility footprint by another 136 acres to capture more of the $53 billion in air cargo opportunities that pass by PHL every single year. We have new concessions opening up at the airport, and we have many more coming next year. Very, very exciting times here at the airport. I hope you'll take advantage of the access this Business Opportunity Forum offers and learn as much as you can about working at the Division of Aviation. I look forward to seeing you all at the airport working here very soon. And now I think it's time for our first session. So let's move on to recovery and resurgence. So joining me this morning, as I had mentioned, is Tracy Borda, our Chief Financial Officer, and Stephen Williams, who is the Executive Deputy Director and for the Delaware River and Bay Authority and the Director of Aviation. Tracy, Steve, good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thanks, Keith.
Tracy, many people, may or may not know you. And as the title of Chief Financial Officer, that means a whole lot. And can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what your portfolio has here at the airport?
Sure. Good morning, Keith. Yes, like many of our consultants, I started here, many years ago and with one focus area, which was audit at the time. But over the years, I was able to prove that I could successfully handle many more tasks that were assigned to me. I was given more and more responsibility for different parts of the organization. And I eventually rose to the level of CFO in 2016. In this role, it is really my goal to support the airport's financial goals and strategic initiatives. I provide leadership over a $420 million annual operating budget and a $1.3 billion capital improvement program. And in addition to being part of the executive management team and providing direction for all the financial operations, I also oversee two key units that are helping us bring this program here today, which are the airport's Business Diversity and Inclusion Program and our procurement team. You'll meet Deidre Sizek, my Deputy Director for Airport Procurement, later in this program, who currently leads both those units. And thanks.
Great. Thank you, Tracy, and thank you for everything you do for the airport. Steve, welcome to your first PHL Business Opportunity Forum. We appreciate you joining us today. As a key aviation partner in our region and one who has opportunities as well, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your airports, and your role?
Sure, Keith. Thanks for inviting me again to the Business Opportunity Forum and to share a perspective of commercial aviation in the Delaware Valley region. So to begin, for me, I have been in the airport and aviation business all of my adult life. I'm a native New Yorker. I grew up on the outskirts of JFK Airport in New York City. And from a background perspective, after a brief stint on the ground handling side of the business, I spent 5 years in New York City government with the city's Bureau of Ferries and General Aviation Operations. Back in 1986, I was appointed project manager for the Atlantic City airports just down the road, which included at the time Bader Field and today's Atlantic City International Airport. And then for 11 years thereafter, I managed a general aviation airport on Long Island in New York, after which I was appointed to my current position as director of the DRBA's 5 airport facilities in both Delaware and New Jersey. Current airport portfolio includes the Cape May and Millville airports in South Jersey, as well as 2 smaller facilities in Dover, Delaware, plus our flagship, as you mentioned, the Wilmington Newcastle Airport, or ILG. And of course, in the region, the DRBA is best known for our Cape May Lewis ferry operation and service across the Delaware Bay, and the operation of the Delaware Memorial Bridge, or DMB. So at the DRBA, I'm responsible for the operations, management, and development of the DRBA's 5 airports, as well as all authority-wide marketing, public information, communications, governance functions, and our economic development portfolio as well.
Wow, that's really impressive, Steve. I'm so happy you're here with us today. We all know that, personally and as an industry, we've been living through some very interesting times these last couple of years. At the Philadelphia International and Northeast Philadelphia airports, we really feel like we're turning the corner, from the impacts of COVID, and are operating at a much higher level now and making improvements every day. We are meeting the challenges for the full return to normal operations, while at the same time are excited about the opportunities that are ahead of us in areas such as cargo expansion, opportunities for investment with the bipartisan infrastructure law, things like that. All of these offer not only an increase in passengers and regional enhancements, but also present real opportunities for businesses in the area. Steve, could you share with us some of the exciting things happening at your airports in the DRBA?
Sure, Keith. It's important to note that since our airports are primarily general aviation in nature, most of our business partners and thus opportunities are with aviation-related businesses, much like your Northeast Philadelphia Airport. In that area, we've seen significant recovery from the COVID environment to the point where we've just about run out of commercial hangar space, particularly in Wilmington, for both aircraft operators and business owners at that airport. However, retail fuel sales have only rebounded to about 87% of the baseline from 2018. Nonetheless, on the capital side, we've continued with much needed infrastructure improvements, as you just mentioned, those taking place at PHL, which includes a rehabilitation of our main runway 119, auto parking enhancements, and upgrades to our main passenger terminal at Wilmington. With respect to other businesses, our two airports in South Jersey have seen strong demand for both aviation and non-aviation space. I'll talk a little bit more about that later, I think, with respect to small business opportunities. But at our Millville Airport, in 2021, we welcomed Gamma-owned maintenance repair organization operator Jet East Aviation with about 100 employees and several new or expanded small business operators at Cape May Airport as we opened 30,000 square feet of new space in 2 multi-tenant buildings in the airport's industrial park, with 10 new businesses that are doing business with us down there. Both of these airports have land suitable for either aeronautical or non-aeronautical development opportunities.
Great, exciting times, exciting opportunities. Thank you, Steve. The airport has always been a place for opportunities for our local and regional businesses. There are opportunities that are highly visible, like our concession program and in our facilities and, of course, airfield improvements. Tracy, can you give us a sense of the range of opportunities that we're expecting to see here at PHL and PNE?
Sure. There's a lot to dive into there, Keith, with a campus as large as ours. Generally we have probably anywhere from 60 to 75 contracts a year on the capital development or engineering side of the house, which is overseen by Appy Appalingam, who'll probably be speaking later this morning. We have an approved budget of approximately $1.3 billion, which I mentioned earlier. And in that budget, we've spent about $350 million to date. And that includes a lot of work, a lot of major repair and rehab work that is being done here. New facilities are being built here. To get those done, we have about 40 prime professional service contracts within planning and engineering alone. Of those 40 prime contracts, just over 350 sub-consult firms are working with these team members. And I did some quick math and was pleasantly surprised to see 3/4 or about 77% of the sub-consultants are minority and women-owned businesses. Awesome. So that was very impressive. I was very proud of us. And by the way, even 19% of the prime vendors are minority and women-owned businesses. So again, I think Philly's just rocking it, encompassing things like GIS, civil, security, planning and architecture, and a lot more. I know you're going to hear more about those specific opportunities later. We also have on the services, supplies, and equipment end of our spectrum. That includes things like facility maintenance. On a campus this large, everything requires maintenance. Snow removal, I know that's a horrible word we don't like to talk about here at the airport, but it's a very, very real thing for us. And we hope that we get ready for it and don't need it. We also have security guard services. In the services, supplies, and equipment area, we spend about almost $30 million a year, and about 34% of that goes to minority and women-owned businesses. And then, we also have things like the concession side. So in terms of our food and beverage and retail concessions, we are seeing a really strong recovery as of this month. We reopened about 147 of our 160 locations, and our average weekly sales right around now, we're about $3.3 million a week. And that represents 96% of the sales generated during the same period in 2019. So again, that's a really good sign for us. Throughout the pandemic, the airport worked really hard to prioritize opening minority and women-owned businesses. And since 2020, which was like our all-time low, approximately 43 to 45% of total sales each year were generated by ACDBE operators. And for those who don't know that, that's Airport Concession Disadvantaged Business Enterprises. And in calendar year 22, this past year, we had just about 4 to 54 million of the total program sales were generated by minority and women-owned businesses. So again, just really great stats there. And then if I can, I just want to take one more minute or so to talk about the grant funding, the federal bipartisan infrastructure law, and the grants that are coming our way. So I got to give kudos to our grants team. They've worked feverishly in putting PHL in a position to receive our share or sometimes even more of federal and state grant funding. On the capital side, we have about 132 million in active federal airport improvement program grants, state grants, and TSA grants. And then there's another 25 million offered or coming our way in 2023. And not to mention, we also have 55 million we will be receiving under the bill or bipartisan infrastructure law, comprising about 24 million in discretionary awards for the airport terminal program. And I know we've been out there in the media talking about the fact that we're putting that towards our restroom program, redoing all of our restrooms to get ready for the semi-quincentennial in a few years. And there's another just under 31 million from the bill airport infrastructure grant side that we're hoping to apply towards our cargo program. So lots and lots of opportunities coming our way. And we're excited to do business with all of our vendors.
Yes, lots of opportunities. We're very excited about our vendors and a very dynamic program that's going on here for sure. So thank you, Tracy. Steve, would you like to talk a little bit about the capital program for DRBA?
Sure, Keith. Yes, I would. As far as our capital investments go at the DRBA, we have a capital program of 21.3 million worth of projects in 2022. Without considering grant funding, we're currently in development of our 2023 program, but we're looking to balance the opportunities at our airports with the challenges of the wider economic conditions. However, we run a lean operation here that shares resources between all 5 of our airport facilities. We employ a team of consultants to assist in the preparation of documents and contracts. Our consultant design team consistently exceeds our DRBA participation goals, DBE participation goals, with an 11% participation rate for our efforts for DBE participation. And speaking of grant funding, we currently have 28.5 million worth of contracts of active AIP grants from the FAA that we've employed since 2019. We have a talented internal team of fierce advocates that have good relationships with the Harrisburg FAA office, and we're anticipating another 8.6 million in grant funds for our upcoming 2023 program. Collectively, we're working together with our consultants in the FAA to identify opportunities in the aforementioned Biden infrastructure law, and have submitted over 15 million worth of projects for consideration, including a passenger hold room expansion in Wilmington and a new multipurpose building at our Cape May Airport. We'll continue to advocate for these projects as we consider them to be transformative for our customer service experience at our airport facilities.
That's great. Exciting stuff, Steve. Thank you very much. You know, the last couple of years have, really presented challenges, for the airports and the aviation industry, challenges that we could have never predicted, not in our wildest dreams. At the same time, it reinforces some of the plans that we've had in place and presents new opportunities. I'd like to hear from both of you what some of those areas are and how businesses can position themselves to take advantage of some of these opportunities. Tracy?
Sure. I'll start first if you like. I think we always say one of our bright stars through the pandemic, and even things like a pandemic can have silver linings, which is crazy to think about. But we've really seen an increase in our cargo operations. I want to say, I tease all the time and I say, who in this room even hasn't done more online ordering since the pandemic? I know I personally have contributed to it quite a bit. But to put it in perspective for our airport, Just prior to the pandemic in 2019, we were handling about 600,000 tons of cargo. And in just 2 years, that increased to almost 650,000 tons of cargo. So it's just a tremendous growth opportunity for us. And many in the room may know a few years back, I think it was about 2017, we acquired a 136-acre parcel of land, which was to the western side adjacent to the airport, for future cargo development that we had planned there many, many years prior, with hoping that we would have that property. And shortly before the pandemic, the airport had completed a cargo study, taking advantage. We had always had UPS down here, but now we knew we wanted to do a bigger cargo study. We looked at the whole mid-Atlantic, so the region surrounding us, we call it our catchment region, which is an area about 400 miles around our airport, Keith. I know you're familiar with it. We found that region contained about a $53 billion economic impact for cargo alone. And we were only capturing 9% of that. So what we see is most of that actually is shipped right by us and goes up to the northern Jersey, New York area. And while we don't begrudge our brethrens up there, I mean, we're happy that they're doing well too. We would like to catch a little bit more than what we're getting today. So I know you've said out there, Keith, that we don't need to realize 100% of that, but even if we were to get 5 to 10 to 15% more, it would just be such a huge impact for Philadelphia and our surrounding region. So our fingers are crossed, and not just fingers crossing, but we are actually preparing to attract more cargo our way. We recently begun development of that parcel of land. And you've seen, some of you may have read some articles in the newspaper. One of the first projects we had to do to get that ready for the cargo program was to relocate Tinicum Island Road, which actually currently bisects our airfield from that property. So we're in the process of moving that road to the outer edge. So this way we can incorporate that property into the airport proper. One of the other projects that's taking place is the wetland project over in FDR Park, which is located in South Philadelphia. And by us redeveloping wetlands over there, it's able to help us mitigate the potential impacts from our cargo development program here. And then I know there's also been in the news recently, we recently announced that the Airport and Aviation Facilities Company, shortly known as AFCO for short, we are partnering with Menzies Aviation to build a 150 square foot cargo facility at the airport over the next couple of years. And we also continue to speak to other developers about the ongoing cargo opportunities we now have here at our airport because of the property we have. This is really just a significant growth area for us. I want our vendors to be aware of that. And I think probably we could put our cargo website maybe in the link in the chat for the attendees. That would be helpful so that you can stay up to date on everything we're doing with the cargo program.
Great. That's good stuff. Thank you very much, Tracy. Steve?
Sure. Thanks, Keith. At Wilmington, nothing as exciting as the cargo opportunities that Tracy just spoke about. And again, you have to keep in mind that we are primarily general aviation airports. So some of the customers at both PHL and PNE, from an airspace perspective, actually, and a housing of the aircraft perspective, also use Wilmington as well, and we'd love to share in that as PHL grows. But at Wilmington, we lost our only scheduled commercial air service during the pandemic as a result of COVID. But we're hopeful that in 2023 that we'll usher in a recovery and a restart of not only new but expanded low-cost scheduled service to and from Wilmington. More than likely, this will create business opportunities for small-scale concessions in both food and retail and on-site advertising, as well as shared ground transportation services for transit access and direct convenient connections between our airport in Wilmington, Center City, and the PHL airport. So we're thinking about that. We're thinking about the opportunities that will be coming up, but nothing as exciting as cargo, but certainly think of us as working cooperatively with PHL in a lot of areas to service small businesses and customers as well.
Great, thanks, Steve. And you mentioned that that your airports are generally general aviation airports. That segment of our industry is so very important. To take care of all of the aircraft for the private and general aviation that's out there. So very much needed, and very good partner, and we're really happy that we work together so well within the region. So as we start to wind down, if you could give the businesses that are here today just one piece of advice that would increase their opportunities, what would that be? Steve, let's go with you.
Well, I think the best thing I can say is join us on our website that we can show where we have all of our capital program information as well as business opportunities. www.drva.net/capital programs. I think we'll post that in the chat as well for more information on how to do business with DRVA. And so I think stay in touch with us with respect to business opportunities and as we grow as well. We're just down the road. We cooperate in a lot of ways, as you've said before. I know our congressional delegation here in Delaware is very active in everything that goes on in the Delaware Valley, including at PHL. But stay in touch with us through our website. That's the best way to sign up and do business with the DRVA. And that includes our airports in South Jersey that I mentioned as well.
Great. Thank you. Tracy?
All right. Well, I'm going to take advantage and probably I know you said one piece of advice, but they're related. I'm probably going to go with two, but they're related. One is, first of all, if you're new here to our Business Opportunity Forum, first and foremost, introduce yourself to other vendors, introduce yourself to us. You can request a meeting with us as an introductory meeting. We can't do them sometimes right away all the time, but we do welcome the opportunity to meet with folks. I was reminded of several firms that were new. They met somebody, were later added to an existing contract because of their expertise. And, they kind of wiggled their way in, which is exactly what you're supposed to do. And then I think related to that, I would say sort of another piece of advice is for those of you who have, maybe been on a contract, not gotten too much work yet, but never, ever give up, show up at upcoming RFP pre-proposal meetings to meet with other vendors, make sure you come prepared. Have your elevator speech ready, right? Because nobody seems to have enough time. Everybody thinks in terms of a tweet. So have your elevator speech ready for us and for the other primes here, and find your niche. So it's kind of twofold, but I also just want to do, if I could, Keith, just to do a shout out. I remember for years hearing about this incredible person. Her name was Yvonne Ruiz. I hope she is here today. I can't see her at the moment on screen, but I'm hoping that she is actually here today, Yvonne. So I'm going to do a shout out to you if you are here. I remember Yvonne started out doing some architecture work, actually for our concessionaire marketplace, Philadelphia. And they really loved the work she did. And we really liked the work that she was doing. We were so impressed. We eventually had her working on our Philadelphia Northeast, PNE airport. And after COVID, she had moved on a bit, I guess, during that time. But now she is back and actually playing a critical role overseeing capital projects for our DE carriers. So she's kind of really moved up amongst us. And so that says something from somebody starting, with a small piece and then growing their business here. And so, Yvonne, you're one of our success stories, and we're excited to have you here with us. So that's my advice, Keith.
Great. Thanks for that shout out. And that's all really good advice. We will make sure and get these websites posted up into the chat so everybody has access to them. In the electronic world that we live in today, that is the best opportunity to get your initial information. And then, as Tracy said, reach out for meet and greets and, kind of pitch your business. And that's That's probably the best advice we could give. Steve, Tracy, thank you very much. I think that was very informative. So I appreciate everything that you've done this morning in helping out.
You're welcome. Thank you, Keith.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you, everybody.
So a major focus of our annual forum is to build capacity for the diverse businesses. I'm pleased to welcome Beatrice Isaac, who is our Deputy Director for Airport Procurement, and one of her other hats is our DVE Liaison Officer, as well as Lynn Newsom. Good morning, Lynn, who's the Director of the city's Office of Economic Opportunity. I'd like to welcome both Beatrice and Lynn, and hope you all have a really productive time in the remainder of the forum. Beatrice, it's all yours.
Thank you, Keith. Good morning, everyone. As Keith said, I am Beatrice Isaac, and I'm currently serving in 2 roles at our airports, Deputy Director of Airport Procurement and Deputy Director of Disadvantaged Business Enterprises. I'm here today in both of these roles to share information on PHL's achievements and upcoming activities in business diversity. Many of you know that PHL is both a division of the city's Commerce Department and a direct recipient of federal aviation administration funds. So what does all of that mean? It means that in addition to diversity, equity, and inclusion being the foundation of the airport's strategic goals and embedded in everything that we do, we have requirements and expectations for our external stakeholders to help ensure business diversity. I'm happy to say that we continue to meet these expectations under the FAA umbrella or federally funded projects. We have 3 separate business diversity goals. Just this year, we set our overall DVE goal for FAA capital development projects. That goal has increased over past years and is now set at 18.8% for fiscal years 2023 and 2025. Last year, under the lower goal, we attained 16.51%. We also have a car rental goal of 2.05% for goods and services that support car rental companies, where we achieved 1.56% attainment last year. Finally, there's a goal of 21.3% in our concessions program, where we achieved 35% attainment last year. For non-FAA funded projects, we call them city or local opportunities. The airport, along with the Office of Economic Opportunity, set a goal of 30%, and we attained 36% with women and minority-owned businesses. We are very proud that we far exceeded that goal. We have a lot to be proud of, but we never rest on our past successes. Next year, we will be setting our concessions goals for the airport concessions DVEs, and each year the local city goals are evaluated. This presents me with a perfect segue to introduce newly appointed Deputy Director for the city's Office of Economic Opportunity, Lynn Newsom. Lynn, please give us some news from the city and about upcoming Med Week.
Thank you, Beatrice. I'm happy to be here with all of you today, and good morning. The Office of Economic Opportunity exists to promote the economic development of businesses owned and controlled by minority women and disabled persons. In the past, this has been achieved through our registration program, contract review, monitoring activities, and ongoing interaction with city departments, quasi-agencies, and our private partners. I joined the Commerce Department in April of this year as the Deputy Commerce Director with a new vision for the future of OEO. As a former small business owner, and one that has been heavily involved in both state and local government equal opportunity programs for the past 20 years, I understand both the needs of small businesses and the needs to adapt government programs in order to help minority businesses thrive. Therefore, OEO will focus on engaging in conversations with our MWDSBEs, then developing models that promote growth for these businesses. We will begin this process during Midweek, which, although this forum is one of the activities of Midweek, officially starts Monday, October 3rd through Friday, October 7th. We are excited about this year's Midweek, as it not only gives us an opportunity to network and see old friends, but we will be embarking on this new approach on how to utilize our time together. by introducing a series of workshops, interactive and educational. These workshops are designed to facilitate growth with our minority businesses, which will give details not only on what to do, but how to grow in line with this year's theme, Forging the Future, Building Generational Wealth. This is how we do it. It is our goal to make this knowledge obtained in the workshops help provide them to gradually go into the subcontracting arena, which they have been getting many of their opportunities in the past, into the prime contract arena, providing the opportunity to create the generational wealth that has been so elusive. And this is just the beginning. The Office of Economic Opportunity plans to extend these workshops beyond midweek using the Doing the Business with the City series that OEO already conducts. By continuing workshops throughout the year, we will provide our minority businesses the support, resources, and groundwork needed to scale up and to begin to peak for prime contractors. We hope all of you will join us, not only for midweek, but throughout the next year as we create an environment that produces growth for our small businesses. More information about midweek can be found on our website at www.phila.gov/mid-week. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Director Newsom. It sounds like an action-packed midweek coming up, and the airport is always so happy to participate by kicking those events off. The next part of our program is the breakout sessions. When you registered, each of you selected a breakout session. When I give the word, so not yet, but when I give the word, navigate to the left side of your screen to the sessions button and join your session. After your breakout session, we'll meet back here on the main stage for our Q&A session with senior airport representatives. And then a really fun networking session follows after that. If any of you were here last year, you know it's jumping. So make sure you get in for those networking sessions as well. Have a great breakout session. We're so happy you're here with us today. You can navigate to your session now. Thank you.